This is LXBN TV, and I'm Colin O'Keefe. Today I'm speaking with Francis Pileggi, attorney with Eckert Siemens and author on the Delaware Corporate and Commercial Litigation blog. He's actually moderating a panel at the Delaware State Bar Association's corporate law seminar titled Corporate Law Updates via Blogs. Francis, first off, what can you tell me about this panel that you'll be moderating on blogs and corporate law?
Well, the panel is part of a seminar, and it's part of an annual seminar sponsored by the Delaware State Bar Association that provides updates on an annual basis of the Delaware corporate law cases and statutes, and also alternative entity law. And so there are several different panels as part of the seminar. My panel that I organized, I'm one of the co-chairs with Kevin Brady, and one of the panels that I organized is made up of corporate law bloggers. Mm-hmm. And so to answer your question, the idea of the panel was to have corporate law professors, an in-house counsel, and a private practitioner, each of whom have widely read blogs, and have each of them describe how the blog furthers their scholarship or forms an important part of their practice.
Mm-hmm. And who are some of the people that are going to be on the panel with you?
The panel includes Professor Brian Quinn from Boston Law College, who has the M&A Law Prof blog, Professor Christine Hurt from University of Illinois, who with Gordon Smith and some others has the Conglomerate blog, which also is a business law related blog. We also have Kevin LaCroix from the D&O Diary, which, as you know, is a well-read blog focusing on directors and officers' liability. And we also have a private practitioner from Seattle, Washington, from Stoll Reeves, and that's Doug Beatty, who has the LLC Law Monitor. So he's flying in from, he's coming the furthest of all the panel members. He's flying 3,000 miles just to speak for 15 minutes. But he said it's worthwhile, and he's glad to do it.
That's exciting. That's exciting. And then second, kind of getting into the meat of it, how do you think blogs have impacted the practice of corporate law and kind of the dissemination of information in that?
Well, they've impacted it, in my estimation, in a very substantial way, and I'll break it into three parts. And the three parts are the law professors, the academic influence, in-house counsel, and private practitioners. Mm-hmm. And that's reflected in the composition of the panel.
I see.
So to answer your question, it's impacted corporate law as far as the academy goes, because law professors now, when they are analyzing a recent case, they can disseminate and distribute their comments and their analysis of a court decision within hours. Whereas previously, as you know, it might have taken weeks or maybe even months for their articles to be disseminated the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And as far as in-house counsel, the same thing. I mean, in-house counsel have blogs. They just weren't part of the conversation. As your dad likes to say, they weren't part of the conversation. And now this allows them to be part of the dialogue that's ongoing, and the same with private practitioners.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And then, lastly, what's been your personal experience blogging? You've obviously been at it for a very long time. What's your experience been with that, and how have you stayed at it for so long?
Well, it's hard to believe it's been over 7 years now, but the best way to start out the answer to your question is by saying that it has immensely increased my reach, for lack of a better word. There's so many people I have met through blogging that I never would have met before. It also allows me to keep up to date on the corporate cases more effectively, even though I would read them in the past, because I'm not only reading them, but I'm writing about them. It's you read something a little more carefully when you're writing about it and publishing it. And plus, when I've looked for a case in the past that I know I've read, it's not always easy to find it. But now I can just type in a search word, let's say it's fiduciary duty, and it brings up all the cases I've summarized over the past 7 years on fiduciary duty. Mm-hmm. So there's so many ways. I know this is not going to be a long interview, but I could and I have spoken for an hour or more about all the benefits. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I could easily go on for much longer to extol all the virtues and explain all the benefits of blogging.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah. I mean, I think it's very interesting. I'm excited to hear, how this panel goes. I'm sure we'll see it, of course, on Doug Beatty's publication, then hopefully on Kevin's and yours as well. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to watch to see, how that turns out. Well, once again, that was Francis Pileggi of Eckert Siemens and the Delaware Corporate and Commercial Litigation blog. If you haven't seen Francis's publication, be sure to check it out. It's at DelawareLitigation.com. Great stuff there. If you're looking for someone to emulate, that'd be a good start to spot. Well, once again, for more video interviews from LXBN TV, be sure to check us out at LXBN.LexBlog.com. Thanks, Francis.
Thank you very much, Colin.